Welcome back to Croke Park, John. As Joe O'Connor, the Rockies man, the Austin Stacks man, buries the ball to the back of the net, and Kerry are leading by 10 points, James, 126-19, and that just sums up Joe O'Connor's year. He dives into Jack O'Connor's arms at the end too.
It does. I cannot believe that this is a 10-point game. All the build-up before this final has been how close this is going to be. It's going to go down the stretch, 1 point, 2 points max. Kerry have been absolutely awesome today, especially the first half. But to push this out to 10 points is incredible. A couple of the performances in the Kerry side have been unbelievable. Gavin White especially and Paddy Clifford, two standouts for me.
The hooter has just gone, and Sean O'Shea has knocked it into the Kazakhstan. And Kerry, the Kingdom, are All-Ireland champions for the 39th time in their history. The Donegal players have their hands in their head, they're on their knees, they're crestfallen, but look at the celebrations. Look at the players on the field. James O'Donoghue talked to us about what's going on with the Kerry fans right now as Jack O'Connor embraces his selectors and the players all meet in the middle of Croke Park.
Oh, that is unbelievable. Every single one of them to a man stood up today and absolutely delivered. A bit of an experience around the field. It didn't matter a jot. They all turned up and played their part in an absolutely perfect performance. Donegal will be gutted. I think tactically they got it wrong, especially in the first half. Their zonal defence, not picking up key players like Paddy Clifford and Sean O'Shea, not going to tighten up on them, and those Kerry players absolutely exploited that. The intensity they played at, the hunger they showed under the breaks for every single one. We did that thing we said before the game. They weren't just fighting for that break, they were fighting for their medal. They fought for that medal today, and they've come out with an unbelievable win. To win that game by 10 points, to beat Jim McGuinness's Donegal by 10 points is unbelievable going, and I couldn't be happier for them.
James, they totally outclassed them. They totally outtaught them. Once the Donegal plan A didn't work, it seemed to fall asunder, really.
It did. Well, I suppose Donegal got it back to 5 points just before half-time, and Kerry worked that set play where they took 2.5 minutes to work a shot. They worked it for David Clifford. He kicked over an unbelievable 2-pointer. Suddenly it was 7 points at half-time. It's a different conversation going in, even 5 points down to 7 points down. And Kerry knew they just had to keep the scoreboard tipping over, which they did. Donegal, their shooting as well in the second half let them down. They missed some chances to get within 3. Instead, Kerry went down the other side and made them pay.
That number 14, Paddy Clifford, has just been escorted over for an interview on one of the TV stations. Sean O'Shea and David Clifford have just been caught by the sports file photographers embracing in the centre of the field. Talk to us about Paddy Clifford. You asked during the game, is somebody keeping count of his possessions? It felt like a record number at one stage. He ran the show today.
He absolutely ran the game. I honestly cannot believe what Donegal did with Paddy Clifford. Paddy is one of the best players in the country, and every decision he makes is the right decision. You can't give him that much ball. He absolutely ran the game from just about 5 yards off the 45, kept picking up clever positions, drawing fouls, getting shots to the post himself, fisted a lovely score in the second half, but also creating a load of scores, and that makes your whole team more comfortable when someone like that is playing so well. In fairness to Paddy, he was brilliant, and the other fellow I would say was brilliant was Gavin White, captain, turned up today, got 3 points himself, one goal kick-outs. I thought he was absolutely outstanding.
That's some scene beneath us right now. David Clifford has been called over to the BBC. Paddy Clifford's beside him on RTE, the two brothers from Fussa. Oh, you look at Gavin White, the captain, as you mentioned, he tore into that game from the get-go, James. He set up scores, he kicked points, he fisted them over the bar. Phenomenal performance throughout.
Yeah, he's a man. He took responsibility this year. He showed great leadership all through. You can imagine those Kerry players, they were written off against Meath. That showed an unbelievable dressing room that they were able to pull in and go, lads, there's either two ways we go here. We either crumble under the bit of pressure we're getting from the public, or we go and we win this thing playing the way we know we can. And they have absolutely come out and played sensational football. They have put Ulster to bed over the last 3 rounds. They've dusted Armagh, Tyrone, and now they've beaten Donegal in the All-Ireland final by 10 points. I can't believe it. I thought it was going to go down to the wire, but a sensational Kerry win.
Oh, it was an absolutely phenomenal performance. You mentioned the nadir in Tullamore. It was bad against Meath, but it is a measure and a mark of the quality in that dressing room that they flipped it on its head from there. And I think we saw the real Kerry since then, didn't we?
Yeah, I think straight away after that game, you saw the way players reacted to every turnover. Joe O'Connor led by example that way. Gavin White, Paddy, Shawnee, David. Just the real leaders in the dressing room really showed up all through the later stages of this championship. And that's a great sign of a team. When your best players are performing, I think the new rules suited Kerry down to the ground. I think Cian O'Neill, Jack O'Connor have done a great job the way they've done the set plays to get Clifford on more possessions. He delivered as well today, and it might have been written in the stars.
How's your 𝐊𝐄𝐑𝐑𝐘? Can you give us a rendition of Unpuchabuela? Joe O'Connor has been led over too. The orange boots. Oh, what a season that man has had. When the chips were down, when players were injured, when people had written them off, Joe O'Connor delivered consistently throughout 2025.
Yeah, and just that goal rounded it off. I mean, the improvement levels in Joe's games, the way he has just absolutely dug in. He has been a leader on and off the field. He came from a rugby background. He has the physique, but his skills have improved so much. And that finish there in the last minute of the All-Ireland to rattle the roof of the net just caps off an unbelievable season for him.
Yeah, very shortly on Uachtaráin Cumann Lucas Gale, Charlotte Burns is going to hand over to Gavin White, and we'll be able to hear the speech of the Kerry captain. He'll be bringing Sam Maguire back to the Dr. Croke's clubhouse, back to Killarney, back to Kerry. We're looking at the Donegal players, James. They're spread out. It's an awful place to be. You've been there as a winner on that field and also as a beaten finalist. Ryan McHugh stood there in the middle of the field. He lost an All-Ireland final in 2014 when he was just a kid. 11 years later, he got back to an All-Ireland final. It was the longest gap between players to have gone between All-Ireland finals ever, I think, in Gaelic football history. His final hasn't gone the way he wanted it today, but he made sure to shake every Kerry hand as they walked by him there. Those boys are just gutted. Will they be back under Jim McGuinness? Will they get back here again?
They will. I've no doubt they will. But I can tell you now that is an absolutely horrible feeling. This day is about Kerry, obviously, and celebrate their success. But those Donegal fellas are absolutely hurting right now. There's no worse place to be. You're sitting on that field, and there's someone else going up the steps of the Hogan to fulfill their dream, and you're sitting down there and you haven't been able to. McHugh, he got an awful bang in the shoulder. He had to come off. You know, it didn't end the way he wanted to.
Before we go back to the studio and before we let you hear Gavin White's speech, what does this say about the new rules? The manner in which Kerry attacked that game, the manner in which Donegal set up. What does it say about the season we've just watched? I know it's a big question very soon after the final whistle.
Yeah, I think we saw an open attacking game in that final, but it definitely does show that the more attack-minded teams, the braver you are, the more skillful forwards, I think you have a much better chance under these new rules, and they have been an absolute success this season. There is no doubt about it. Our best players have just grown a level, and that's what we want to see.
Well, John, we're going to leave the mics on here. If you want to keep an ear out for when Gavin White begins his speech, hand back to yourself and Paddy Burns in the studio. I think the handover is about to happen, John, so you might stay with us as we get a shot of Pat the Bag O'Sullivan, the Kerry chairman, in the ear of David Clifford.
Just like to ask James O'Donoghue, what's your plan now?
I'm cancelling my train home. I'm off for a week. No, I'm joking. The place to be tonight probably Killarney, or maybe tonight or tomorrow night. But honestly, the Kerry people were not expecting All-Ireland halfway through this season. You know, there was a little bit of staleness, and then the players just came out and said, no, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I think that the supporters will get behind them when it comes to celebrating this as well. I think they're going to give it one right good send-off, which is just brilliant for the lads as well. They deserve it.
John, a fifth All-Ireland title for Jack O'Connor. 2004, 2006, 2009, 2023, 2022 and 2025. He's down there, he's looking up. How satisfied must he be today?
Gavin White now about to receive the Sam Maguire Cup, lads. And he lifts it in front of the jubilant Kerry players and supporters.